All right, here we are in part 5 of Secret Paths to the Sea, a new rainy evening, as there are 2 kinds of weather on this island. That's why they need a lighthouse. So Stephanie's problems have been all sorted out. She's figured out how her individuality is safe. Who's our new friend?
Hi, my name's really Ariane, but everyone calls me Arrow. I just know my parents won't understand why I dropped out of orchestra. How am I going to tell them?
Oh, special trivia. My best friend is also called Ariane.
The thing is, my parents are pretty cool, really. And they've always helped me when I wanted to do something. They even got me a medicine drum when I was only 5 years old, because I really wanted to learn to play. My older brothers, Roger and Kenny, play classical flute and guitar, and my parents are really proud of them. But I'm not like them. I'm just not into classical music. I want to play in a rock band, but how am I going to make my parents understand?
So similar to Nicole, but a little bit more specific, that she knows what she wants to do but doesn't know how to tell her parents what that is. So this is Secret Paths underneath the sea, I guess. We've made it to the sea, underwater. We've pushed all the fish out of this kelp forest, and now we charge forward our individuality. Ta-da! So that was a quick start. Now let's learn a little more about Arrow's problem.
My dad's a really good auto mechanic. He fixes fancy cars during the day. But at night, he makes his own cars, right in our garage. He welds together old car parts to make these weird custom hot rods. And then my mom designs the way each car gets painted. It's totally cool.
You can't go by the book, Arrow. When I'm making a car, I just listen to my heart and make it up as I go along. That's what makes my cars different from everyone else's.
That sounds a little bit like her parents are going to be just fine with her quitting orchestra. Or, maybe encourage her to stay in orchestra and also play rock music. Not sure why it needs to be an either or. I guess maybe a time constraint thing. There's a lot of demands on kids' time. The puzzles on this path are pretty straightforward. Just memorize the little anemone unravel, and that will teach you to talk on the phone, because talking is important for communication. Communication is important, I should say, and talking is often the easiest default way to do that. So there's like a shape behind one of those lights, so I was thinking it might be a puzzle, but the starfish does not turn fuchsia, and so I guess that means there isn't anything here. Oh, fish friend, I'll get to you in a minute.
I just can't figure out how to tell Mom and Dad that I dropped out of orchestra. I mean, playing timpani, the big drums in the orchestra, is really fun, but I'd rather be playing hip music with my friends. One night, after dinner, Mom and Dad heard me goofing around on my drums.
What are you playing, hon? That sounds so, different.
What concerto is that from, Arrow?
I was so bummed. I totally chickened out. I said I was just doing warm-up exercises or something. I just couldn't explain.
Yeah, it's a simple thing, but her hair on that swing set is so, well animated. I don't know. It's feels exactly like being on a swing. Long hair flowing in the breeze, which is, the best. This little fish blowing bubbles. What a cutie. Turning blue, though. I want to watch out for that. Oh, this is how you get flat camels. Saw that one, I think, in Nicole's path, so I guess I was right. They are fairly similar, so the game thinks too.
Hey, you guys, listen to this. I've been practicing at home with the CD player.
Way to go, Arrow!
Arrow, that was wonderful. I see you're using some classical techniques to make some of those sounds. That's very creative. Now I can see what you've been doing with your practice time. We miss you in orchestra, but I'm glad to see you're still playing music.
Yeah, Arrow's the best. Someday, when we're older, we're gonna start a band.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. It will take a lot of hard work and effort. Arrow, your parents must be very proud of you.
Well,
Oh man, spoiler alert. We'll be seeing those girls a little later. Arrow's little friends there. So I like how the teacher was like, oh, all that stuff I taught you is paying off for this other thing you want to do. There's a nice balance of encouraging and, just a reminder of the hard work, but it's a good little teacher speech. Time to feed these jellyfish. Some presumably plankton, although it looks like glitter. Glitter plankton. In exchange, we get Jolly Ranchers, which we can't click on until the jellyfish leave, because they'll fight over it. That's what that looks like. Preview of our folktale. Looks promising. So onward to the brain coral. Yeah. Little sandcastle. Oh, broke it. That's unfortunate. There was a tiny tornado underwater. I guess we have to jigsaw puzzle. Okay, so I have no idea how I got that first piece exactly where it goes first try, because I definitely was not matching the bottom. I just put it where it felt right, and I was right, Pretty silly. But I think this is a little fun alternative to a jigsaw puzzle. I guess it is still a jigsaw puzzle, but it doesn't look like a traditional one. Just matching the little shapes together to make our undersea castle, which the outline suggests is three-dimensional, but we are thankfully only responsible for the first dimension, the front dimension, forward dimension. It's a cute little castle. Wonder who lives there. Perhaps our little blowfish friend. Has to be careful not to blowfish in the middle of the night and knock the whole thing down. Even though I know I'm not going to be able to click that until I get back out here, I still went to try and click it. I just need to be blindfolded and trust this game. Trust is the key, apparently, to many things. But who am I trusting? Myself, my friends, parents? Another short one. The pouch jingle never lies.
Goose Lake. Long ago, a girl named Mei Ling lived in a village which was suffering from terrible drought. The rice fields were dying and her people were hungry. So Mei Ling went to the mountains to cut bamboo to make brooms to sell. Mei Ling climbed high into the mountains, higher than she ever had before. Suddenly, she came upon a clear blue lake, shimmering in the sun. She saw that the harvest could be saved if she could make the water flow to the fields below. Mei Ling walked all around the lake, but could find no way to create an opening in the craggy rocks and boulders. She discovered a huge stone gate amidst the rocks, but push as she might, the gate would not open. Mei Ling turned sadly to return home, when suddenly a wild goose appeared and whispered,
"Sing for the daughter of the Dragon King. She can help you get the golden key which opens the gate."
Mei Ling sang all the beautiful songs of her people, and finally, to her delight, a girl appeared from the lake.
"I am Long Nu, the Dragon King's daughter. Although I am forbidden to meet humans, I could not resist your lovely songs. I grow lonely singing alone, so I've come to you in secret."
"Please, help me get the key to unlock this gate," Mei Ling begged. "The people in my village need water to save them from hunger."
My father guards the key in a cave deep at the bottom of the lake. He would destroy anyone who tried to take it. But if we sing together, he may crawl to the mouth of the cave to listen. If I keep singing, you may be able to slip past him." Gathering all her courage, Mei Ling sang with Long Nu at the mouth of the cave. All went as planned, and she entered the deep darkness. Though dazzled at first by all the jewels and pearls, Mei Ling kept searching until she found the key. Just as the goose had said, the key opened the heavy stone gate. Water flowed down the mountainside to the fields below. Although the Dragon King was furious when he discovered his loss, he soon returned to admiring his treasures and forgot his anger. The two girls became close friends and met by the stream every morning to sing, their voices blending in beautiful harmony. Today, women still gather to sing the songs they love and to celebrate the bravery of the girl who saved her village.
You know what? Even though Mom and Dad might be bummed that I'm not playing classical music, I think if I just tell them how much I love playing other kinds of music, they might understand. I mean, my dad would get pretty bored if he could only work on regular cars, and my mom would go crazy if she didn't paint. Like Dad says, listen to your heart and make it up as you go along. If I tell them that's what I'm doing, maybe Mom and Dad will understand after all.
It's good to learn to be honest with your parents, especially if, like her parents, they're pretty open, pretty funky people with their hot rods and painting and, all that stuff. And finding a way to relate back to them, I think, again, with communication is really important to get people on your side. If you listen to them, you can meet them where they live, and that will usually help to get your point across a little bit better. Because, somebody can be trying their hardest to understand you, but if they can't relate it back to themselves, that might be kind of difficult. So it's a good lesson. Just a last shout out to Arrow's tights there and her little Chuck knockoff shoes. I love those. That's, again, the fashion in this game is just something else. It's quite a delight. So, and a further shout out to my friend Ariane, who is really nothing like Arrow, but except that she also has dark hair and probably wore rainbow tights at some point in her life because, we grew up at the same time as this girl. All right, well, we are almost done with this game. We'll rejoin in part 6.